Hey guys, let's get more news from Steelers, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Safety Trenton Thompson could start against Browns Sunday. After being elevated off the practice squad in the Pittsburgh Steelers' Week 10 win over the Green Bay Packers, safety Trenton Thompson said he will again come up off the practice squad to play in Week 11 against the Cleveland Browns, per Chris Adamski of TribLive. The Steelers brought up both Thompson and LB Tarek Carpenter as elevations last week, and we know that LB Michael Walker will also come up this week due to comments by the coaching staff. Pittsburgh has an opening on its 53-man roster with Quan Alexander's placement on IR, but Pat Freiermuth still needs to be activated off IR. With Pittsburgh only allowed 2 elevations per week, another roster move is coming in order to facilitate all 3 of Thompson, Carpenter and Walker coming off the practice squad this week. Neither Keanu Neal nor Minkah Fitzpatrick practiced on Wednesday for Pittsburgh, with DC Terrell Austin saying both players would be likely game-time decisions. Given that, it makes sense to add Thompson to the room again. He played 7 snaps on defense after Neal went down against Green Bay following an interception, and he also had 2 snaps on special teams. "We like Trent," Austin told reporters Thursday during his weekly press conference. "When we got Trent in camp, he came in, he was tough, good tackler, showed some ball awareness, ball skill. So those are the things you like, but until you get him in a real game situation, like last week he kind of got thrown in, until we get more of a body of work, then we'll feel more comfortable with him. But we like his initial skill set and the things we saw." Thompson appeared in his second career NFL game last Sunday after also playing for the New York Giants in a 2022 game against the Dallas Cowboys. The San Diego State product had an interception with the Steelers during the preseason and has spent most of the year on the team's practice squad. Steelers impressed by rookie DL Keanu Benton's. At the beginning of the year, it may have been frustrating to see the Pittsburgh Steelers rookies spend more time on the bench than they did on the field. They were playing, but snaps were hard to come by. CB Joey Porter Jr. only worked in dime packages. And NT Keanu Benton was a rotational player logging about 20 snaps per game. Fast forward to midseason and that's all changed. Porter is a starter. First-round OT Broderick Jones isn't giving up his right tackle spot. And Benton has played more snaps the last 2 weeks than he has in any game all season, a role that is unlikely to be rolled back the rest of the season. For DC Terrell Austin, slow playing those snaps helped Benton learn what he needed to learn. Now, he's showing why the Steelers took him in the top 50 of the 2023 NFL Draft. "He's really sharp for a young guy," Austin said in audio provided by the team. "He's really strong, he's really flexible in the hips. You watch him explode on people and get rid of blocks, hands. He's got all the tools you need to be a really dominant defensive lineman. And that's what impresses me. You tack on the fact that he's sharp and he understands things. It helps his growth. And I think that's part of the reason probably why he's growing and accelerating in his development. Some of that playing time increase has been out of necessity." Benton was still working as a backup until Week 9 when starting nose tackle Montravius Adams went down with an ankle injury, leaving after the second snap of the game. Benton finished things out and played well, making a bigger impact than the 2 tackles on the box score would indicate. He had 2 pressures, including one up the interior that led to edge rusher Alex Highsmith sacking Tennessee Titans QB Will Levis. Over his last 2 games, Benton has 8 tackles and 4 pressures. Based on our charting, he leads all Steelers defensive linemen with 12 pressures. And his 12.5 snaps per pressure is also best among the defensive line, showing he's efficient at getting after the quarterback. It doesn't always translate to sacks. Benton has just 1 on the season, but it's collapsing the pocket and pushing quarterbacks into TJ Watt and Highsmith's arms. He has a better understanding of what we're trying to do," Austin said of Benton. "Techniques that are involved. He's just continued to grow as a football player. It's good to see. It's nice to see." Though Adams figures to return at some point, potentially this week, Benton should keep his starting job. Adams has had a nice season, but Benton is the future. He's strong, athletic, fluid, plays with a hot motor, and his game is improving, especially against the run. If he adds a bull rush to his game to complement his club/swim, he'll become the next great Steelers defensive lineman. And Pittsburgh might end up having a special rookie class. Report, veteran LB Tanner Vallejo visits Steelers. With the Pittsburgh Steelers significantly short-handed at inside linebacker, they are looking on the open market. According to NFL insider Aaron Wilson, veteran linebacker Tanner Vallejo is visiting the Steelers Thursday. Vallejo, 28, was a sixth-round pick in the 2017 NFL Draft out of Boise State by the Buffalo Bills. He spent time with the Bills, Cincinnati Bengals, Arizona Cardinals, Washington, and the Minnesota Vikings. Vallejo checks in at 6,011, 228 pounds, and ran a 4.67 40-yard dash coming out of college. He added a 7.083 cone, a 33.5-inch vertical jump and a 10 broad jump. In his career, Vallejo has recorded 114 tackles, 2.5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles and 1 fumble recovery, playing in 82 games with 8 starts. Prior to visiting the Steelers Thursday, Vallejo spent some time with the Vikings in training camp, signing with Minnesota on August 14 before being released on August 28. From 2020 to 22, Vallejo was with the Cardinals and started 7 games over 3 seasons, including 5 last season. Last season with the Cardinals, Vallejo graded out at a 41.1 overall from Pro Football Focus. He graded out at 42.8 against the run and 47.9 in coverage, allowing 10 receptions on 15 targets for 96 yards, breaking up 1 pass. According to PFF, Vallejo has played 687 total snaps defensively. Special teams is where Vallejo made his mark in the NFL though. In his career dating back to 2017, Vallejo has played 1,525 snaps, recording 32 tackles and just 4 penalties. Last season in Arizona, Vallejo graded out at a 79.7 on special teams from PFF. The visit from Vallejo comes with the Steelers thin at inside linebacker after losing Cole Holcomb and Quan Alexander in back-to-back weeks for the season. Now, the Steelers will be leaning on veteran Elandon Roberts and second-year linebacker Mark Robinson at the position, as well as practice squad guys Michael Walker and Tariq Carpenter. The visit from Vallejo also comes just 2 days after head coach Mike Tomlin stated that the franchise wasn't looking outside the organization for injury replacements. Though Vallejo can't be viewed as a replacement for Holcomb or Alexander, should the Steelers turn that visit into a signing, it would help shore up some depth, presumably on the practice squad since he hasn't been in a football setting since late August. We'll see what happens in the next 24 hours or so with Vallejo and his visit to Pittsburgh. And you fan, what do you think of the Tanner Vallejo situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.